In the last video, we talked about what happens when you load a website, and one step flew by fast: DNS. Your browser turning a name like example.com into an IP address. That process is doing a lot more than it looks like, and is arguably one of the most important systems on the internet. So let's actually break it down. Every device on the internet is identified by an IP address, a string of numbers like 93.184.216.34. Computers are great at working with numbers like that. Humans are not. Nobody wants to memorize a string of digits for every website they visit. So DNS, the domain name system, exists to solve that problem. It's a distributed system that translates human-friendly names into machine-friendly addresses. Think of it like a phone book. You look up a name, and it gives you the number to actually call. In the last episode, we showed a quick version of this chain. Here's the full picture. First, your browser checks its own cache. Has it looked up this domain recently? If so, it already has the answer and skips everything else. If not, it asks your operating system's resolver, which also checks its own cache. If neither has an answer, the request goes to a recursive resolver, usually run by your internet provider or a public service like Google's 8.8.8.8 or Cloudflare's 1.1.1.1. This resolver's job is to do the legwork of finding the answer on your behalf. The recursive resolver starts at the top of a hierarchy, a root server. There are only a handful of root servers in the world, and their only job is to point you toward the right place to ask next, specifically the server responsible for the domain's extension, like .com or .org. This is called a TLD server, short for top-level domain. The TLD server doesn't know the final answer either, but it knows which server does, the authoritative server for that specific domain. That server holds the actual DNS records and finally responds with the real IP address. That answer travels back up the chain to your browser, and now, finally, your computer knows where to send its request. Here's the thing. That whole multi-step process sounds slow, but in practice it usually only happens once. After the first lookup, the answer gets cached at multiple levels. How long they remember is controlled by something called TTL, time to live, a value set by the domain's owner. A short TTL means the record expires quickly and gets looked up again soon. A long TTL means the answer sticks around longer, which is faster for everyone but slower to update. This is why when a website changes servers, it can take time for that change to fully show up everywhere. Some people are still seeing cached answers. When headlines say it was a DNS issue, it usually means the phone book broke, not the website itself. The servers might be running fine, but nobody knows where to find them. From your perspective, the site just looks broken. It's the digital equivalent of a phone book listing the wrong number for a business that's still open. Next time, we'll look at what happens right after DNS finishes its job, how your connection actually gets encrypted. Subscribe so you don't miss it. If you want to actually understand the systems running the internet, subscribe. This is just the beginning.